Joseph Winters. On May 7, 1878, the fire escape ladder was patented by Joseph Winters. Joseph Winters invented a wagon-mounted fire escape ladder for the city of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Dr. Patricia E. Bath. Dr. Patricia Bath, an ophthalmologist from New York, but living in Los Angeles when she received her patent, became the first African-American woman doctor to receive a patent for a medical invention. Patricia Bath's patent, a method for removing cataract lenses, transformed eye surgery using a laser device, making the procedure more accurate. Patricia Bath's passionate dedication to the treatment and prevention of blindness led her to develop the cataract laser probe. The probe, patented in 1988, is designed to use the power of a laser to quickly and painlessly vaporize cataracts from patients' eyes, replacing the more common method of using a grinding drill-like device to remove the afflictions. With another invention, Bath was able to restore sight to people who had been blind for over 30 years. Patricia Bath also holds patents for her inventions in Japan, Canada, and Europe. Patricia Bath graduated from the Howard University of Medicine in 1968 and completed specialty training in ophthalmology and corneal transplant at both New York University and Columbia University. In 1975, Bath became the first African-American woman surgeon at UCLA Medical Center and the first woman to be on the faculty of the UCLA Jules Stein Eye Institute. She is the founder and first president of the American Institute for the Prevention of Blindness. Patricia Bath was elected to Hunter College Hall of Fame in 1988 and elected as Howard University Pioneer in Academic Medicine in 1993. Daniel Hale Williams. African-American Dr. Daniel Hale Williams is credited with having performed open-heart surgery on July 9, 1893, before such surgeries were established. In 1913, Daniel Hale Williams was the only African-American member of the American College of Surgeons. Daniel Hale Williams successfully operated on James Cornish, the victim of a knifing. The operation was considered at the time groundbreaking. The doctor opened the patient's chest, revealing a beating heart, to stitch a small wound in the pericardium, the sac surrounding the heart. Daniel Hale Williams utilized many of the emerging anesthetic sterilization procedures of the day and thereby gained a reputation for professionalism. The doctor began his medical practice in Chicago at a time when there were only 3 other black physicians. In 1891 in Chicago, Daniel Hale Williams founded Provident, the first American interracial hospital. Provident hosted the first nursing school for blacks in America. Daniel Hale Williams was born in Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania on January 18, 1858. He graduated from Chicago Medical College in 1883. Daniel Hale Williams and Alice Johnson were wed on April 2, 1898. He died on August 4, 1931, in Idlewild, Michigan. Valerie Thomas. Valerie Thomas received a patent in 1980 for inventing an illusion transmitter. This futuristic invention extends the idea of television, with its images located flatly behind a screen, to having three-dimensional projections appear as though they were right in your living room. Perhaps in the not-so-distant future, the illusion transmitter will be as popular as TV is today. Valerie Thomas worked as a mathematical data analyst for NASA after receiving a degree in physics. She later served as project manager for the development of NASA's image processing system on Landsat, the first satellite to send images from outer space. In addition to having worked on several other high-profile NASA projects, Valerie Thomas continues to be an outspoken advocate for minority rights. So, you want the real McCoy. That means you want the real thing. What you know to be the highest quality, not an inferior imitation. The noted African American inventor, Elijah McCoy, was issued more than 57 patents for his inventions during his lifetime. His best-known invention was a cup that fed lubricating oil to machine bearings through a small bore tube. Machinists and engineers who wanted genuine McCoy lubrications might have used the expression, the real McCoy. The inventor was born in 1843 in Colchester, Ontario, Canada. His parents were former slaves. George and Mildred McCoy had fled Kentucky for Canada on the Underground Railroad. George McCoy enlisted in the British forces. In return, he was awarded 160 acres of land for his service. When Elijah was 3, his family moved back to the U.S., settling in Detroit, Michigan. He had 11 brothers and sisters. In 1868, Elijah McCoy married Anne Elizabeth Stewart, who died 4 years later. A year later, McCoy married his second wife, Mary Eleanora Delaney. The couple had no children. At the age of 15, Elijah McCoy served a mechanical engineering apprenticeship in Scotland. Afterwards, he returned to Michigan to pursue a position in his field. However, the only job he found was that of a locomotive fireman and oiler for the Michigan Central Railroad. The firemen on a train were responsible for fueling the steam engine, and the oiler lubricated the engine's moving parts as well as the train's axles and bearings. Because of his training, he was able to identify and solve the problems of engine lubrication and overheating. At that time, trains needed to periodically stop and be lubricated to prevent overheating. Elijah McCoy developed a lubricator for steam engines that did not require the train to stop. His lubricator used steam pressures to pump oil whenever it was needed. Elijah McCoy was issued his first patent on July 12, 1872, for his improvement in lubricators for steam engines. McCoy continued to improve upon his design and invented several more improvements. Railroad and shipping lines began using McCoy's new lubricators, and the Michigan Central Railroad promoted him to an instructor in the use of his new inventions. Later, Elijah McCoy became a consultant to the railroad industry on patent matters. Frederick McKinley Jones was one of the most prolific black inventors ever. Frederick Jones patented more than 60 inventions. However, he is best known for inventing an automatic refrigeration system for long-haul trucks in 1935. Jones was the first person to invent a practical mechanical refrigeration system for trucks and railroad cars, which eliminated the risk of food spoilage during long-distance shipping trips. The system was, in turn, adapted to a variety of other common carriers, including ships. Frederick Jones was issued the patent on July 12, 1940. Jack Johnson, 1878 to 1946. The world's first African American heavyweight champion patented a wrench on April the 18th, 1922. Jack Johnson defeated Canadian Tommy Burns on December 26, 1908, in the World Boxing Championship held in Sydney. This initiated the quest to find a great white hope to defeat Johnson. James Jeffries, a leading white fighter, came out of retirement to answer the challenge. Jack Johnson won their fight on July 4, 1910. News of Jeffries' defeat initiated numerous incidents of white violence against blacks. However, black poet William Waring Chooney captured the exuberant African American reaction in his poem, My Lord, What a Morning. Jack Johnson, 1878 to 19. Emmett W. Chappell. Chappell is the recipient of 14 U.S. patents and was recently recognized as one of the 100 most distinguished African American scientists and engineers of the 20th century. He started with NASA in 1966 in support of NASA's manned space flight initiatives. Later, he developed techniques that are still widely used for the detection of bacteria in urine, blood, spinal fluids, drinking water, and foods. George Washington Carver. It is rare to find a man of the caliber of George Washington Carver, a man who declined an invitation to work for a salary of more than $100,000 a year, almost $1 million today, to continue his research on behalf of his countrymen. Agricultural chemist, Carver discovered 300 uses for peanuts and hundreds more uses for soybeans, pecans, and sweet potatoes. Among the listed items that he suggested to Southern farmers to help them economically were the recipes and improvements for adhesives, axle grease, bleach, buttermilk, chili sauce, ink, instant coffee, meat tenderizers, metal polish, paper, plastic, pavement, shaving cream, shoe polish, synthetic rubber, talcum powder, and wood stain. 3 patents were issued to Carver. On July 7, 1911, Nathaniel Alexander of Lynchburg, Virginia, patented a folding chair. According to his patent, Nathaniel Alexander designed his chair to be used in schools, churches, and other auditoriums. His design included a bookrest that was usable for the person sitting in the seat behind and was ideal for church or choir use. Rufus Stokes was an inventor born in Alabama in 1924. He later moved to Illinois, where he worked as a machinist for an incinerator company. In 1968, Rufus Stokes was granted a patent on an air purification device to reduce the gas and ash emissions of furnace and power plant smokestacks emissions. The filtered output from the stacks became almost transparent. Stokes tested and demonstrated several models of stack filters, termed the clean air machine, in Chicago and elsewhere to show its versatility. The benefits of Rufus Stokes' invention. The system benefited the respiratory health of people, but also eased the health risks to plants and animals. A side effect of reduced industrial stack emissions was the improved appearance and durability of buildings, cars, and objects exposed to outdoor pollution for lengthy periods. Rufus Stokes. Thomas Stewart. Thomas Stewart of Kalamazoo, Michigan, patented a new type of mop. On June 11, 1893, Thomas Stewart had invented a clamping mop that could wring the water out of itself by the use of a lever. Patent abstract. Lloyd Ray. African American inventor Lloyd Ray patented a new and useful improvement in dust pans. Lloyd Ray invented a device with a metal collection plate attached to a short wooden handle in which trash could be swept into without getting one's hands dirty. Here is a picture of Lloyd Ray's dust pan. Alice Parker. In 1919, Alice Parker of Morristown, New Jersey, invented a new and improved gas heating furnace that provided central heating. This is a picture of Alice Parker improved gas heating furnace system. Willis Johnson and his egg beater. African American Willis Johnson of Cincinnati, Ohio, patented an improved mechanical beater on February 5, 1884. In fact, what Willis Johnson had really invented was an early mixing machine, and not just an egg beater. Willis Johnson's device was not intended for eggs alone. Willis Johnson had designed his egg beater and mixer for eggs, batter, and other baker's ingredients. It was a double-acting machine with two chambers. Batter could be beaten in one section and eggs could be beaten in another. Or one section could be cleaned while the other section could continue beating. Patent abstract. John Albert Burr. On May 9, 1899, John Albert Burr patented an improved rotary blade lawnmower. Burr designed a lawnmower with traction wheels and a rotary blade that was designed to not easily get plugged up from lawn clippings. John Albert Burr also improved the design of lawnmowers by making it possible to mow closer to buildings and wall edges. John Albert Burr. Marie Brown. The first home security system was patented on December 2nd, 1969 by Marie Brown. The system used television surveillance. Charles Brooks of Newark, New Jersey, invented improvements to street sweeper trucks that he patented on March 17, 1896. His truck had revolving brushes attached to the front fender, and the brushes were interchangeable with scrapers that could be used in winter for snow removal. Charles Brooks also designed an improved refuse receptacle for storing the collected garbage and litter, and a wheel drive for the automatic turning of the brushes and for powering a lifting mechanism for the scrapers. Charles Brooks also patented an early paper punch, also called a ticket punch. It was a ticket punch that had a built-in receptacle on one of the jars to collect the round pieces of waste paper and prevent littering. Lord Augustus Hall, June 20th, 1894 to January 2nd, 1971. An industrial food chemist, Lord Augustus Hall revolutionized the meat packing industry with his development of curing salts for the processing and preserving of meats. He developed a technique of flash driving, evaporating, a technique of sterilizing with oxide, and is still used by medical professionals today. Lord Augustus Hall was born in Illinois on June 20th, 1894, and raised in Aurora, Illinois. Hall invented new ways to preserve food. In 1925, Hall was the chief chemist and director of research at Griffith Laboratories. It was here that Hall invented his processes for preserving meat using sodium chloride and nitrate crystals. This has been a presentation of Black Inventors, Past and Present. I am your host, Teresa Freeman. Thank you for watching.